Yeah, I got one.
Oh, it's something scary.
They're like a big price.
I'm trying to get them on the
What do you got?
the player.
Figured out a big old, small player.
Yeah, so this metal thing. If they went in too deep, I have that, or I have the even little square. Well, just stick it in and take the hook out, zap the head, let it, got some weight. I did before I
These are slightly larger than small.
So you have the lightness of the graphite and the strength of the fiberglass. So it's a nice marriage of the two components on that TC4 plane.
Yeah, and when Paul talks about TC4, basically TC4 is a marriage of fiberglass and graphite. Back in the day, the best rods for pulling were all fiberglass. The problems associated with fiberglass is they were heavy, very cumbersome. They had the right action, but they became very cumbersome for the fishermen. By marrying E-glass and graphite, you've got the sensitivity of a graphite rod, the lightness of it, and you've got the durability and the bend of a fiberglass.
And they're bulletproof. On a charter boat, stuff gets dropped on the floor and banged around quite a bit, and they're very versatile.
Where on the bass end, you're looking more along for your bottom contact rods, you're looking for a high modulus graphite. High modulus graphite is super lightweight. This is a rod, this thing weighs 3.1 ounces, this rod.
Yeah.
Like I can really, between the reel and the rod, I'm under 10 ounces.
My toothbrush weighs more than that rod he has there.
But the thing is, it's balanced properly. When I work the rod, I'm not fatiguing my arm because it's up in their upright position. It's got a lot of backbone and it's super sensitive. So that's the common difference between trollers and guys who work bottom contact baits. We're looking for high modulus graphite. They're looking for E-glass, so that TC4 is exactly what they're looking for.
We got some worm anglers here at all? Who likes fishing with worms? Anybody? Do ya? What don't you like fishing about worms? Anything? Putting them on because they're gooey, and I'm, you know what? I don't want to sound girly, but I don't like that either. So I'm going to give you a couple worm tips. And you know what? It's funny. I stole this from somebody else, and it's one of the most popular things at the show. Care of your worms, okay? How many people just get a box of worms and throw it in the bottom of the boat, and away they go, and they get the dirt all over the worms, and they get dirt all over their fingernails, and they don't want to eat a sandwich? Anybody with me here? Messy. I learned this from somebody this past summer. I recommend washing the worms, okay? First of all, don't wash them with regular tap water because there's chlorine in the water. It'll kill your worms. And worms are quick. If anybody knows, and you can lodge up north or somewhere, and if one worm goes bad in that pack, the rest are going to die within a day or two. So I buy my worms in 500 flats, and I use a lot of them in the spring. So one of the things that I've been sharing with people at shows, and they seem to take it home and enjoy it, and it helps them catch more fish, is I actually wash my worms. And I take them to the lake, and I'll set up 3 pails. And I'll dump a handful of worms in dirt in pail number 1 with water, and I'll scoop the worms out, put them in pail number 2. By pail number 3, they're totally clean. There's not any dirt on them anymore. They're washed now. Lake water I use or rainwater. Once you're done that, I take just a regular Tupperware style container. I'll put a layer of paper towels. I'll take the whole roll of towels and I'll dump it in the lake. It's totally soaked. I'll put a layer of paper towels in the bottom of my container, and then I'll put a handful of my clean worms in, another layer of paper towels, another layer of worms, another layer of paper towels, all the way to the top. I'll put 200-300 worms in a container. That's good for the day. Then what I do is I put an ice pack on top. So they're cool and they're wet. And what I do by that is my worms actually double in thickness. They look like a finger when they come out of that water because they actually absorb a bunch of the water. You know, you bite into an apple and you get that nice, I get the same thing out of a worm when I put it on the hook. And they got some snap to them, they're chilled, and when you first hook them on, they start going crazy. They're not lethargic because they've been chilled. Another thing I'm going to tell you real quick about worms is what is going to happen if I put that worm on a hook like that and I start dragging it through the water? Anybody? What's going to happen?
Just slip off.
What's it going to do going through the water? Go ahead, son.
It's gonna slip off.
It's going to spin like this. I don't want your worms like that. When they're cold and they come out of that water, it's going to help you catch more fish. I want you to stretch them out. Not to the point that they break, but stretch them out so they go through the water natural. See how JP puts his baits on? He makes them want to look natural. Crayfish patterns, worms the same thing. You want it to look long and skinny like that. So worm care, keep them cold. When I get back from that, I take the paper towels, I dump them right back in the worm bedding. They're good for 2 or 3 days. I'll get 2 or 3 flats of worms, and I leave them on my boat for a month, and they stay healthy. Try that water trick. It makes a big difference.
Parabolic bend. Anytime you're pulling lures where you've got no slack, or you're doing what I'm doing here, I'm basically working a bottom contact bait. My rod position is always in the 9 to 11 o'clock position. I want that extra fast action so I can impart action to the bait and still have backbone to set the hook. Where I'm cranking or doing what Paul's doing and trolling, he wants that moderate fast action because it'll allow the fish to take the bait further into their mouth and land them easier.
So when my rod's in a position like this, once it loads up and the fish is on, it goes like that. He's not going to shake the hook. If not, you're going to pull back.
Can you sign my hat?
Absolutely. I've got a silver marker. That'll work.
Perfect.
That sucker. Where are you guys from?
Right here, Ontario.
I get nice hook on there and everything.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Austin.
Austin?
Yeah.
You guys look real close, huh?
Yeah.
So first time you ever been in this convention center?
Second time.
Oh yeah, what was here before?
My sister's graduation.
They had the party here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Did
Like
they
the
have it all
ceremony.
open or did they have it sectioned off?
Oh, they had only this part.
Oh yeah? 'Cause I
Yeah.
see a wall comes out across.
Yeah. It wasn't big enough for that.
Yeah, nice building.
Yeah.
Nice building. These guys with you?
Yeah.
Are they? Are you taping me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
You mind?
Hi! What's your name?
Peter.
Peter? No, I don't mind. Are you going to get in the shot with me? Why don't you come around and give him the camera?
Alright.
Come on back here. Is there anything you'd like to tell everybody back home? To all your...
What's up, Mom? What's up, Dad?
And the rest of the million viewers that he has. Thank you very much.